If you want to understand clearly that taking responsibility is the key to making any significant change in your life, then the following video from my trusted Pathway to Purpose blueprint is for you. Check it out. Okay, so welcome back, and in this video we're going to talk about taking 100% responsibility. Okay, so I warn you, what I'm going to say here maybe you won't like. And in fact, you know, when I coach people and I really shine a light on this and I really poke at people inside, and I don't let them get away with this one, I get some real resistance to this topic, because no one wants to take 100% responsibility for their own life. We all in some way play some form of victimhood. And I've done a lot of this in my life, a heck of a lot. And I'll tell you what, this has caused me so much pain. And understanding how to take 100% responsibility has been one of the major game changers in my life. 100% responsibility is total. It's everything. We're talking about taking responsibility of everything in your life. But as I said, there's so much victim mentality. There's so much blame. Well, yes, but this person did that, and this situation was like this, which means this and that, etc. It's all bullshit. It's all you not taking responsibility. I see this all the time, you know, working in the recovery field for drug and alcohol addiction. You know, people always blaming someone else. And when people are in this this constant cycle of blame, of complaining, you know, rather than sharing. I see people in meetings who are great. They just share stuff and they just let it go and they dilute it. Whereas some people are just always coming back to the same stories and complaining, and it's this person's fault and it's that person's fault. And you know what? These people carry on drinking, they carry on using drugs. Some of them end up dying just because they can't let go of this. And people will say, yeah, but this is just the way that life is. You know, there's nothing that I can do to really affect that. No, it's not. I'm here to tell you, no, it is not. Life isn't just like that. Life is the way that you create it, and therefore you have the power to create anything you want. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. There's nothing more true than that. Really nothing. It's an incredible realization when you fully understand and fully take 100% responsibility for everything in your life. That's when a massive shift happens and real change occurs. So what about these things here? Well, what about your partner leaves you for another man, another woman, divorces you? Your responsibility? Oh, I bet you're thinking, for those of you out there people who have left you, and that's happened to me, you're going to go, no way, they've done this, they've done that, they've cheated on me, etc., etc. Are you telling me that if you didn't take 100% responsibility in that relationship, that they would leave? If you take 100% responsibility in a relationship, no one will ever leave you. No way, not if this is a good, solid, established relationship to start off with. 100% responsibility in a relationship means you do absolutely everything you can. You give yourself 100%. You never complain. You never point out the defects of character in your partner. You give absolutely 100% everything, and you don't expect anything in return. You don't meet someone 50-50. A relationship doesn't work in the long term if you're expecting 50% from the other person. That's not how it works. If you give 100% of yourself to someone, this is what will happen. They won't give you nothing back. They'll give you everything back too. It'll just be a complete switch over, 100% each way. That's how it works. There is no 50-50. It doesn't work like that. Now you might say, well, yeah, but my partner gives everything back to me, blah, blah, and I give her everything, so it is 50-50. No, that's 100% each way if it's working perfectly, which is maybe what you have, I don't know. But let me tell you now, if your partner left you, that's your responsibility, and you have to be aware of that. I'm not saying you have to condone someone's activity for going and sleeping with someone else or something like that. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that the reason that happened is because you didn't take 100% responsibility for that relationship. And I bet there are people out there right now saying, fuck you, Rob. That's not right. I'm here to tell you that's the truth. But you don't want to hear it. Your ego doesn't want to hear it. Because you didn't take 100% responsibility for that relationship if that's something that happened to you. What about your business isn't working? Well, that's your responsibility. Well, that sounds a little bit more clean cut, doesn't it? Right? A lot more clear cut, maybe I should say. You know, but what happens if we start to blame and say, well, yeah, but my business partner did this, or the economy was this way, and etc., etc. Well, it doesn't even matter. You set up the business in that field at that time. It's all your responsibility. You have to take responsibility. Only then can you make the changes to make it a success. What about if someone dies close to you? Maybe your partner died. So this is something that I've had experience with my first wife dying. Now, I'm not in any way suggesting that them dying is your fault. Absolutely not, and you're not responsible for that, of course, unless you killed them, which I hope not. But what I'm saying here is the way that you feel after that happens, and I know the feeling is very, very raw. But for me, I let that linger for 10 years and it seeped over into all aspects of my life and nearly destroyed the marriage to my wife now. It's your responsibility to 100% responsibility for the way that you feel. You cannot go through life saying, yeah, everything's going all right, but I'm just so damaged because my wife died. I'm drinking because my wife died. I'm doing this because my wife died. I can't get it together because my wife died. I'm depressed because my wife died. It's your responsibility. No one is making you feel a certain way. Only you are making you feel a certain way. You have to look within at this and take 100% responsibility, or nothing will change in that situation. You won't overcome grief. Here's a tough one. And for anyone listening here, and this is very common. It's very common, I've come to understand, is, have you been abused? Maybe as a child, maybe even sexually abused. Again, I'm not saying that it's you're responsible for being abused. Absolutely not. There's certainly forgiveness for people who do that, because I know a lot of people who have been through that. This isn't something that I've been through personally, but I've experienced a lot, especially in recovery rooms. I'm not saying that we should condone this, that there is any particular reason for this, but we are 100% responsible for the way that we feel and act in our lives after being abused, maybe even sexually abused. Now again, for some of you out there, you may be saying, well, Rob, you don't know. That's absolutely bullshit. You don't know anything about that. What I can say, not from actual personal experience, but experience of working with a lot of people through addiction who have been through things like this, is again, there are people who blame this for the way that they are in their lives, for their alcoholism, for their addiction, for the way they're behaving. Yet there are also people who have completely forgiven the people who this has happened, forgiven the people, the perpetrators of these crimes, and they see what has happened to them as an actual gift, because A, it's made them behave in certain ways where they don't want this to happen to anyone else, and B, they've even been able to go on and actually help people who themselves have been abused and help them to come through that. So for them, it has been a gift to go out and offer something to the world, and that has actually become people's actual primary and higher purpose, They see it as a gift to help other people, which is a really beautiful thing to happen out of something that's so tragic. Again, there may be some of you out there who really feel some resistance to this because it's quite a tough thing that I'm telling you here. But I'm telling you right now that it is your responsibility to deal with this and to feel the way that you feel. Is 100% your responsibility. It is not the responsibility of someone else. No matter what has happened, the way you are feeling is all down to you, and you can change this by taking 100% responsibility. Every awareness that we have, whatever it is, we are 100% responsible for. We don't actually have to put up with anything in our life. We can make the choice to change. I've been through a lot of things like addiction, bereavement, mental health problems, health scares, etc., etc. Pretty much everything apart from abuse, actually. You know, I have experienced a lot of different life changes. I've dealt with them in some very bad ways in the past. Yet I've understood that by taking 100% responsibility, you really can change the course of your life. And you can then go and do anything, right? Because you have no judgment about anything. Have you ever realized how well you actually cope with certain situations when you look back on them? Even your darkest days, some of the real challenges that you've been through life, we can always come through them. We always do, with a tremendous amount of strength. Even though we feel weak at the time, we can see the strengths that we have and the skills and the strengths that we've acquired by going through these things. What if you could actually let go of everything that you've been through with no judgment? Take 100% responsibility. Do you understand how much freedom you have in your life to go on and do something like life purpose? This is deep stuff here. This is completely and utterly changing your reality. Understanding that what you see, what you experience is all your own making. It's incredibly liberating. It's incredible. There's no more I can't, which really means I won't. There's only limitless opportunities to you, because you can create anything you want. A lot of these beliefs and resistance, feelings and judgments that you're going to look at right now they're going to scare you. They're maybe going to cause you some pain. And you're going to be saying, what are you talking about, Rob, with all this stuff? You know, I really can't take 100% responsibility for everything. But trust me when I tell you from personal experience that when you can really 100% get this, this is a real game changer. In my eyes, either you take 100% responsibility for everything in your life, or you really are going nowhere. That's quite a harsh statement, but I really believe that. Again, take it as you will. That is my experience. But I can tell you the transformations I have been through, I know I'm prattling on about this, but it's just so important. It really is. This course, this looking into yourself, looking into limiting beliefs, this is going to go way deeper than we've been into so far. This is real work. This is real inner work. Stop playing the victim. Take 100% responsibility, and the world is yours for the taking. I'll see you in the next video. So if you want to see more videos like this and truly understand how this all fits into finding your life's purpose and implementing it, then you can check out my course by that very same title on Udemy by clicking on the link in the description below. I will take you from the conception of a new life to a state of being where you will create exactly the life you want and understand how to get paid for it. So click the link in the description below if that sounds like something you'd like to pursue. I'll see you soon.